Are you ready to be a YouTube star again? Yeah. Hey guys, and welcome back to Conservation Queen, a channel that is completely dedicated to keeping you guys updated, informed and educated on everything conservation based. In today's episode, it's a little bit of a special one because normally on this channel I don't share anything particularly personal. This isn't a personal account, this is all about the environment. But it has kind of worked out very nicely that my environmental eco-based lifestyle has actually meant that I can film a video for you guys that not only is educational but gives you, I guess, a little peek into my life. So as you can see, today I have a very special, very sleepy guest with me. She's been running around all morning. This is Lily, and she actually has her own YouTube channel called Lily Lika, which I'll link down below if you guys are interested in watching her little life unfold before your eyes. And today's video is Adopt Don't Shop. Now, a few years ago this was a really big international hashtag trend, and it basically goes on to talk about how important it is to adopt dogs from shelters and rescue charities rather than shopping for a new pure breed pedigree dog. Every dog that my family and myself have been rescued dogs. In fact, all the animals I've ever had have been a rescue of some sort, whether that's rescue cats, horses, chickens, dogs, the lot, all rescued. And that's something that's really important to me. I really believe that with so many animals in the world, it's worth giving these dogs or animals that are often overlooked a chance at a good life. As you can see, Lily is an absolute baby, an absolute teddy. She is 4 months old. She's from a charity that works in Romania to help find these street dogs and these strays and abandoned dogs and give them a new lease of life and help them find their forever home. Now, Lily's mum was really unfortunately hit by a car when she was still 1 or 2 weeks old, and she was killed, so these puppies were suddenly motherless, and the people who owned them didn't want them. They wanted to get rid of the puppies, so the charity took them in and have hand-reared them. Her and her 3 other siblings are all now in their forever homes. And basically, my partner and I, we were ready to adopt. We wanted our own little baby fluff ball. And obviously I was like, we have to get a rescue dog. Now, a misconception that a lot of people have regarding rescue dogs is you get an older, grumpier dog, potentially with a lot of issues, and there are rescue dogs like that. They do exist, and it takes a very sort of special person to open up their home to that type of rescue dog. But what a lot of people forget is that a lot of puppies also get abandoned. A lot of puppies get deserted, their parents die, whatever. So it is still very easy to get a puppy. It's not unheard of. Every single dog that my family have had, they've got 3, and now I've got Lily. Don't know why she sat behind me, but there she is. I'll move so you guys can see her. Every dog I've ever rescued, and the cats I've rescued, they've all been puppies and kittens, so they are able to be found. In fact, one of the dogs that my parents have is a purebred golden retriever, and there are so many different charities that focus on different dogs and different types of dogs. So the charity we were at was focusing on Romanian rescues, so it didn't really matter about breed. There are charities that specifically go for certain types or breed of dog, and there are charities that go for certain size of dog. You can find a charity for anything. So I do know how difficult it can be, but it can be so rewarding, because without me adopting this little baby, I mean, she is cute enough that she would have been snapped up in a heartbeat, so I'm very lucky with that I got to have her. But there are so many dogs that you don't know what's going to happen to them, and more often than not I find that these dogs that we have rescued and saved are so much more grateful because they have lived in harsh conditions, be it for a couple of weeks, be it for a couple of months, be it for a couple of years. So they understand and they have gratitude and they have more love to give because they know what it's like not to have love. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that shopping for a puppy is absolutely horrifically wrong. Breeders, to an extent, do have their place within the puppy market, but the difference is that a lot of breeders are not sort of ethical with the way they go about it. Hopefully things like Lucy's Law, which is a new law that's just been passed in Britain that basically means you have to have a license to be able to breed, should sort of stop things such as puppy mills, which is where the female dogs are bred on repeat constantly. They always have a litter of pups. As soon as they're born, they're sort of raised as much as they can, then they're taken away from the mother and sold as pets. And this is where you get the things where people are like, you can't meet the mum, like you can't meet them. More often than not always, but more often than not, if you can't meet the parents, the puppy probably was a puppy mill dog. So these dogs often have inbreeding problems, they have genetic conditions that sensible breeders would have bred out of their dogs, but puppy mill farmers will not do that. They just breed for the money, 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 money. And the difficulty is sometimes it's really hard to tell the difference. So for me, and I know this is my own opinion, and there will be people who disagree with me, and that is fine, but I think why risk that potential for such issues with your dog when you can just rescue one? And let's be honest, mutts, mongrels, mixed breeds are so much healthier because they have less of that genetic inbreeding. Now, in some ways, you know, some people might argue that, oh, well, with a mutt, you don't know what you've got, so we don't know what's in her. We know potentially there's some Bichon and some Pekingese, but aside from that, we're not really sure. I think there's definitely some Chihuahua in her because of her snout and how light she is, but we don't really know. So there is the argument of we don't know what genetic conditions she could potentially develop, and that is true, that's a fair point. But the likelihood of these genetic conditions showing themselves and becoming an issue is much less than with a pure breed. I guess the point of this video, if I'm trying to find why I'm making this video, because I got Lily and immediately was like, I have to make an adopt don't shop video. And I think trying to understand why I wanted to make that video, I understand now my views a little bit more on this whole process of adopt don't shop. And I think the big thing is, why would I pay, personally for me, why would I pay £1,000, £2,000, £3,000 on a dog that God knows what genetic conditions it's going to have, what issues I'm going to have to go through, when I can better the life of an adorable puppy who, without this charity, may have lived a life on a street or may well have even ended up in a bag in a river. And I know that sounds harsh, but it's what happens. It's what people do. Now, I don't know who owned Lily before, so I can't speak too much on what they would have done, but there are so many different scenarios that could have happened, and I have been lucky enough to not only save her, but be saved by her, because she's such an incredible, incredible dog. So I could go on for hours about this, and if you guys would be interested in a mini-series talking more in depth about the potential issues with adopt don't shop, be both for and against adopt don't shop, I obviously, if I did it, would not be biased towards one or the other. I would explore both avenues fully. Comment playlist down below and tell me what you would like to see, why you'd like to see it. So thank you so much for watching this video and having a little glimpse into my personal life as well as my environmental life and how they overlap. So until next time, thanks so much, and I'll see you soon. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks.